Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe my YouTube channel. NW star TULISA, 36, confessed she was left hyperventilating and crying from pressure she felt and emotional exhaustion after her elimination. The young songstress jetted out of the country just days after being voted off the show, erasing all traces of her experience from her Instagram. Addressing speculation about her abrupt exit, TULISA later explained on Instagram that she had become overwhelmed by the experience. In the first part of Paul C. Brunson's We Need to Talk podcast, TULISA candidly shared the mental health challenges she endured both during her time in the jungle and after leaving the show. She admitted struggling to interact with the happy campers while privately battling anxiety and breaking down in tears alone in her hotel room. Speaking ahead of the second part of the podcast, set for release on Monday, TULISA revealed how close she came to quitting the program. She recounted a particularly intense anxiety attack, unseen by viewers, that left her in tears and gasping for air. TULISA said, "Some of the things you didn't see, I had night terrors for the first 4 days. I was waking up out of my sleep, and I was having anxiety attacks, those parts, not everyone knows, so it wasn't completely smooth sailing for me at all, but I have a great poker face. I really can turn it on, especially when I'm faced with adversity." Determined not to show vulnerability, she added, "The last thing I wanted to do was go in there and be the hot mess. So if anything, I'm going to be the biggest soldier there is. As soon as I'm set with a task, jumping out of a plane, for example, I'm going to look like a warrior, because that's what I do. I might sit and cry under the sleeping bag, that's also a part of who I am." Recalling her breaking point, TULISA said, "I definitely had an anxiety attack off camera. I went to the smoking area to do it because I didn't want them to know. I was trying to bring down my heart rate, literally through my nose. I kept telling myself, get the heart rate down. Get the heart rate down. I wanted to leave that day. I thought, I can't do this, but I reminded myself that I was there to stick it out." The singer credited her campmates for creating joyful moments despite her internal battles. However, after being the third contestant eliminated, TULISA described feeling an introvert overload when she returned to reality, hyperventilating and crying. She found herself overwhelmed by the attention. TULISA reflected on the period spent with campmates and their families at the hotel post-elimination. She said, "I was sat crying in my hotel room while everyone else were happy campers, excited to be there. I just needed to go home and process everything. For others, it's normal, they are on the radio or television all the time. For me, it felt like a psychological experiment." After returning home, TULISA revealed that she spent her first day in bed, switching off her phone and immersing herself in escapism by watching the Lord of the Rings trilogy. She shared, "I just sat in bed for 4 days of phone detox, a social media detox. My inner circle understood and told others, she's recharging." The interview also shed light on her battle with prescription drug dependency during the pandemic. Grieving her dog's cancer diagnosis, TULISA turned to sleeping pills to numb the pain, but unknowingly became dependent. "That's what makes us so strong, and my soul fam so special to me. Say what you want about me, but leave my Shelley and Dan alone, please."